Happy New Year, and welcome to Wisdom in the Best Books and Films, where you can get bite-sized bits of wisdom. This week is an exciting one for me. We get to talk about The Count of Monte Cristo, which is the first book I ever read in French. I read this book in 2008 when I was on a mission for our church in Reunion Island, and I read the entire thing in French, which is a great vocabulary builder if you ever decide to learn a language. It's great to read original stuff in that language. But one of the quotes in the book really stuck with me and stayed almost word for word in my head from then until now. So here is the full quote in the original French. This is when Abbé Faria is in prison with Edmond Dantes, and Edmond Dantes asks him what he might have accomplished if he weren't in prison.
Rien peut-être. Ce trop-plein de mon cerveau se fut évaporé en futilité. Il faut le malheur pour creuser certaines mines mystérieuses cachées dans l'intelligence humaine. Il faut la pression pour faire éclater la poudre. La captivité a réuni sur un seul point toutes mes facultés flottantes çà et là. Elles se sont heurtées dans un espace étroit. Et, vous le savez, du choc des nuages résulte l'électricité. De l'électricité, l'éclair. De l'éclair, la lumière. When I read particularly the part Il faut le malheur pour creuser certaines mines mystérieuses cachées dans l'intelligence humaine, that specific sentence, that's the second sentence, stuck in my head, and I just really like the message in it, and so I wanted to share that with you today. As usual, if you enjoy the recording, please share with friends and write a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and help us to share it with more people. So I'll get right into it. This one is called Compression and Growth. Life is challenging. It is challenging to consistently exercise, to avoid frequent visits to the dessert table, to gain knowledge and skills we wish to possess. It is challenging to be a husband, father, employee, and coworker that we want to be. We all wish to do well in all these ways, and we surely have room to improve. In Alexandre Dumas' classic novel, The Count of Monte Cristo, Edmond Dantes is imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit. He meets Abbé Faria, who teaches him many things on language, culture, mathematics, and science, among other topics, during their 8 years together in Château d'If. At one point, Dantes laments the imprisonment of Abbé Faria, imagining that he could have accomplished marvelous feats if he had had less trials. The response of Faria to Dantes, when asked what he might have accomplished, teaches a lesson rarely appreciated in our day.
Quote,
Possibly nothing at all. The overflow of my brain would probably, in a state of freedom, have evaporated in 1,000 follies. Misfortune is needed to bring to light the treasures of the human intellect. Compression is needed to explode gunpowder. Captivity has brought my mental faculties to a focus. And you are well aware that from the collision of clouds, electricity is produced. From electricity, lightning. From lightning, illumination.
end quote.
The word translated as misfortune here is malheur, which is often also translated as unhappiness. Abbé Faria is not giddy about his circumstances. He just understands that they have helped him to mold into a better, wiser person. It is easy to think as Edmond Dantes does in this story, that if only this debt or that sickness were taken from us, we could do so much more good. But sometimes the compression of our trials can be the catalyst that leads us to attaining our greatest potential. And though it is unlikely that we will have to spend our lives in a hell comparable to the Château d'If, none of us can avoid all obstacles. The next time you find yourself in a difficult situation, replace the habitual why me and if only thoughts with introspection. Ask yourself, how can these clouds produce enough lightning to illuminate my path forward? If you do, you will find over time that your efforts to face your challenges head on have molded a new person, a person you will hold in greater respect.